Hi kids, welcome to Friday Night Bites, Bible Stories for Kids. I'm Mr. Don. Today I want to play a game with you. Most of you know the game Simon Says. Today I want to play a game with you called Bible Says. Now this would be a lot more fun if you guys were here with me, but we're going to try this across the video. So what I want you to do is all the kids stand up. So we're going to play it like Simon Says. I'm going to say Bible Says and then tell you something to do. So if I say Bible Says, you do it. If I don't say Bible Says, then you don't do it, because that's how it is in the Bible. If the Bible doesn't say it's okay to do, we probably shouldn't do it. Okay, so ready? First one is, Bible says, bow your hands, close your eyes, and pray. Okay, I hope everyone did that because I said Bible Says. The next one, Bible says, lift your hands and praise God. I hope everybody did that because I said Bible Says. Okay, ready? Bow down and worship idols. I hope I didn't trick you with that one, because the Bible doesn't tell us that we should bow down and worship other idols. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you know, but in the Bible, there are some laws. They're called God's 10 Commandments. And two of those are, there is only one God and worship only God. So God is telling us that we shouldn't worship idols. So I'm going to tell you a story from the Bible. It's about King Nebuchadnezzar. And he was this great king in charge of this country. And he had a lot of people that lived in this country. Now, not everybody lived there because they wanted to. Some people were kind of like slaves, that they were brought into the country and they weren't allowed to leave. And there was 3 boys in that group that had funny names: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So this King Nebuchadnezzar built this huge idol. It was 90 feet tall and 9 foot wide. And that's taller than most people's houses and stuff like that. It's really hard to figure out how big that was. But he made this command that whenever people heard music play, they had to bow down and worship this idol. And if they didn't, they would get thrown into a fiery furnace. Not like an oven like we have in our kitchens now, but it was a big furnace that people could walk in and out of, and it was very hot. So one day the music played and everybody bowed down, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't bow down. Well, the king's advisors saw that, and they went and they tattletaled to the king. Hey, look, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego aren't bending down and bowing to your idol. So the king got upset. He got mad, and he called for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to come see him. And I'm going to read you what it says right in the Bible. So this is in Daniel, and it says, Nebuchadnezzar said to them, is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you refuse to serve my God or to worship the gold statue I have set up? I will give you one more chance to bow down and worship the statue I have made when you hear the sound of the musical instruments. But if you refuse, you will be thrown immediately into the blazing furnace, and then what God will be able to rescue you from my power? So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied, O Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue that you have set up. Well, that made the king even madder yet. So he had his guards come in and tie him up, and they took him down and they threw him in the furnace. They made the furnace a lot hotter than it had ever been. So the king's standing out there and he's looking into the furnace. Well, he doesn't see just 3 figures in there. He sees 4 figures walking around. Well, they should have been burned up right away, but they weren't. So he went over by the door and he said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come out. And they come walking out. They're not on fire. They're not smoking. They don't even smell of smoke. And he said, how did you survive that fire? And they told him that God had sent a messenger to keep them safe. So after that day, the king made a new commandment that no one was allowed to speak any bad words against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's God, because then he saw just how powerful that their God was. Now, so in the Bible, it tells us we're not supposed to worship idols. And we don't really have 90-foot golden idols that we would worship nowadays. But guess what, guys? We still have idols that we put before God even today. We have video games and TV and social media and our tablets. So it's very important to remember God first and only worship God. So your challenge this week is those names that I just gave you are all really big names. Nebuchadnezzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So your challenge is to find those names in the Bible, write them in an email, write them on a piece of paper and have mom and dad take a picture of it and email it to the church, or draw yourself a picture of an idol and then write no across it or put the big no symbol over it. Take a picture of that and send it to the church and we'll get you a little prize. And remember, it's not about the prize, it's remembering to put God first. Thanks, and we hope to see you next week.